You know why I'm making this video? Quite simply put, I'm a man that's never started in gay porn, never will. My ex-wife did things that are so obscene, I learned from that. My current love interest got confused with the fact that somebody stole my red hat and used it in gay porn. Not only that, she decided to go make a porno, and I can't believe it, she actually did it. I thought at the time when we first met online that she resided in the country of Crimea and she'd gone to Russia to come here. To my surprise, I met up with her one day at the U.S. Post Office here in Hyannis, Massachusetts, one town over. I didn't realize that was her, but I did know it was her. It's weird, right? You know, she stood there filling out something to sell to somebody who knows, but it was a priority mail thing, and I stood there. She had her red shoes on, black tights, cranberry jacket, and long cranberry shredded hair. I stood at the window, and I looked at her, and she said, "That's Bill," and I turned around and said to her, "You're supposed to be in Russia." What a rush. She had given me prior to that her Russian cell phone number, and I didn't know it until a couple of days ago. Telos gives out numbers. Even if you're in America, you can have a number from any other country. Slowly I learned. Well, in my neighborhood, there's too much heroin. There was heroin in this room. Slowly but surely, like a delicate little angel, it was gone. Well, wouldn't you believe it? You know what attracts me to a woman? This. What is Valentina's only got? This. Now, I've already been to the ringer with the Department of Mental Health, and I'll never ever let myself be signed into care again. I don't trust him, and maybe she does. I think she does. She's got to be a patient. How else could she do the things she does? Who wouldn't be a patient? She's brilliant. She's 5'4", but when she learned that, mistakenly believed that I was in gay porn, I heard it right in his brain. I'm going to make a porno. Despite the fact that I already put it in print to her, in email, never do it because it'll wreck a relationship. My song, Leonda, I'm Coming Home, 13 days before September 11th, is the blueprint for our nation's nightmare. And you can thank me and Mrs. Janet Morris, my now ex-in-law, from the summer of '84 for a book called The 40-Minute War. Here's 5 words for you. Boeing, Islamic State, 20 terrorists. And it's in that book, complete with a cover of the silhouette of a black jet about to hit the Capitol building with a red backdrop. Summer of '82 with my friend John Rivoli, I told him, someday, John, be at the Prodigal Son in Hyannis and don't let me know you're videotaping. How's that for a Back to the Future fact? Well, August 29, 2002, that song became my home run because the last 2 words of it, to you, are just like the trajectory of Flight 93, if I say so myself. One of the most beautiful, deadly songs of all time. I didn't realize it until a long time after that became the blueprint. One of the sole reasons why this nation went to war. Valentina was born in 1988. Hope springs eternal, but it wasn't me that got her pregnant. It was the rapist himself, Sam Kelly, who did that to her mom. Whether it was love or not, he raped his own wife's heart when he had an affair. So when I found Valentina in my spam box on Valentine's Day, I was introduced to someone I thought that was looking for a husband, a serious man. And when we started confirming by email, I didn't realize it, but all the photographs in there weren't just her, it was many people. Yet I went on to say, Soul Sisters, I'm going to introduce you to them. She emailed me and she said she trusted me 100%, and I felt so good here. I was smiling, laughing. And then we started to talk about the pitfalls of past relationships. She spoke of the fire, but I'm going to walk you through the water. she said, I loved you then, I love you now, and I love you forever. Wasn't too long after that, someone from the Philippines sent me a photo of much like Valentina in the water with someone, and on it said, I will love you forever. My reaction, I emailed her and I said, go wash that dirty seat. And I thought, I didn't realize this much later after, those would be the words of her own father, Shane William Kelly. A rapist. He raped his own wife, Audrey Kelly's heart, while he had another woman. Many of them, including my ex-wife, Leonda. Violence. I broke every tooth in Shane Kelly's mouth with one punch. And why? Because he tried to hurt Leonda, and it was a summarization of everything that's going on for years. He blocked my car door, and by the time he got the tea out to hit me out, I had my fist buried about 3 or 4 inches into his mouth. He fell back about 10 feet up, and if you've never seen the movie Halloween, he got up like Michael Myers, and I was in my car when he put his hand through the windshield. Why am I telling you this? Because 2 years later, me and Leonda, my now ex-wife, we lived in South Yarmouth, Massachusetts. 166 Seaview Ave, apartment 3A. Across from us was a summer rental. One weekend, I don't remember her name, but you might recognize her as the staff from ER, the nurse. Well, she rented that place with 2 other friends. And she walked up to my wife and I and she said, I'd like you to meet both your and Shane's son. He's a product of both of you. That boy had braces, and she told me he's going to need several jaw surgeries. Now, clearly, he was born before I broke Shane's face. But do you understand why violence can't happen? I try to be celibate. I flirt. I look at other women. But I'll tell you something. The only person that attracts me is Valentina. That's it. Merry Christmas to you. A couple hours before Pope John Paul took to the stage for his last Mass, with Leonda as my only witness and a drunk Windsor Curtis on the other side of the wall, probably passed out. In 3 minutes and 47 seconds, I had made the shout-out for what became the blueprint of the tsunami of 2004. You remember that one? 350,000 dead people in 3 weeks? I'll bet you it was 347,000 people in 3 weeks. And I can guarantee you, if you ever take my song and look at the seismograph of that earthquake, it matches it. Not even Woods Hole Oceanographic saw that one coming. But I got a friendly reminder of mine of just what monkeys do, and I had said it before, too. They get down from trees, too. In America, people went obscene trying to fix that. Same mistakes, another Sodom and Gomorrah, ain't it? Even I ain't that clean, because I cheated twice on my wife. But like girls basketball, where there was a team that blew out everybody 100 to 20, 110, do you not understand how I felt? My ex-in-law, Janet Morris, on Christmas Eve in 2004, Leonda said to me, I couldn't go with her to her aunt's house. And I pleaded with her to let me go. And I guess she would have if I had smiled from the heart. But I didn't. But I was crying from the heart. So I stayed at home. And she laughed, and I called her on the cell phone, and I heard wind rushing. I listened to the spares bit by bit, got in my car and drove to Janet's house, found a red sports car parked out front, knocked on the door. Janet answered it, wearing a green John shirt, like I owned. I didn't know she owned one. We were running M2 Technologies together. She looked at me, and I wasn't smiling, but I was hopeful, and I wanted to smile. And she shut and locked the door. About 6 months later, I saw the red car driven by Willis, the maintenance man. His mother told me today, they deserved that. Really? Well, Leonda and I were married. Nobody was there to bring us together. They were there to take us apart. In the end, what you don't surrender, well, the world just slips away. That strips away. Thank you, Bruce. Why am I telling you this? Because, well, in my neighborhood there's too much heroin. I was up with my friend Teresa Nunes this past Thursday, and I crashed on a couch knowing I left my red hat there. When I woke up, I couldn't find it. She let me wear a visor that said Ping on it. So knowing Valentina was around then, I decided to take a walk to West Yarmouth. Hopefully she'd meet me there, I don't know. I was thinking of her, you know. Out to Salty's were Raymond Roy, owner, quite related to our president. How do I know this? International Women's Day, Day Without Woman, Mrs. Roy sat side by side with the first daughter and first lady. How else do I know this? Ray sure looks like our president. Has a place in Florida, loves to gamble, has a mortgage on a seasonal business Salties. And quite frankly, I told him in '86 he was going to do all that too. Who's been telling me? I don't know, but I'm wet to be told. Anyways, I went out there and on the way from the Salvation Army store by the old Mill Hill Club, which is now being turned into something like a nursing home, I met up with a man, and we walked all the way to Standish Way in Yarmouth, about 2 miles. And I used a lot of obscenities as he was quiet and we talked. He told me he worked in a warehouse, and he does. By the time we got to the corner of Standish Way, he was about 15 feet away from me, and I said, hey, my song Awake July 17, Awake by 10, and Awake Under, recorded at Oaks Neck Cemetery July 17th, 2004. Well, I released it, and I emailed George Lucas, and I know I spiritually talked to him too. And I said, George, you sell your Star Wars trilogy to Disney for $3.5 billion and donate it to education? Well, I'll let the writers for the next following 3 movies use my music, and they did. Awake July 17, The Reader's Digest of The Force Awakens. Awake by 10, that's Rogue Nation. Rogue One, actually. Awake Under, Bye-bye Luke Skywalker. The Last Jedi. There's a reason why I'm telling you this. Because, quite frankly, even though right now I don't look like him, I'm a little bit like Joe Montana, Captain Jean-Luc Picard, and Luke Skywalker himself, with a little bit of Steve Austin and Jason Statham, too. Been confused for Bruce Willis, seen it on TV, too. It ain't boasting, because I live on SSDI and I don't need it anymore, too. Up from the ashes, pick myself up in the bootstraps, just like everybody else, too. Good reason why I made the song. Well, I'm going to get paid in 2004, too. You know? Anyways, I sat there this weekend looking for a new place to live, and somebody responded with an ad that was off Cape Cod. Nice room, pond behind it, and I said no. Little did I realize that's where a porno was shot. And I didn't know who was going to be in it until I heard in my own mind, I'm going to make a porno. And Valentina's name didn't come to my mind, but I know I was thinking of her. And I know I already told her of the pitfalls. You know why she did that? Because she got me confused with someone wearing my red hat. I got twins, one in Aquino, one in Boston, and me, myself, and I. Despite the fact my mother told me I was the young one born on November 21, 67. Just this past winter in Boston, 3 carriages, 6 children in a niche, pushed by an Asian woman. The boy in the back looked exactly like me at the age of 2-3. The boy in front looked exactly like my brother Troy at the age of 2. The rest were all Asian, and there might have been a few blacks and a couple of whites too. As I put my fist out, with that tattoo, looking at that little boy Troy, and one woman said, yep, he misses his brother Troy. How did she know me? Here's another perspective. The same summer of 2004, I created Words Called Love. Dun, 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 dun. Might have put it up on the net since then, but definitely when I released NetBuds in June of 2016, it was on there, and there was only 6 downloads according to Reverb Nation. Can you explain to me how I was out at Boston Public Library on Boylston Street, playing the intro, dun, 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 and out of several hundred people walking by, one man yelled out, Words Called Love. And I've only seen the breadcrumbs of my own work. Hello, Ascot. Yeah, you told me the other day, Words Called Love wasn't registered, but it is too. Reverb Nation, how many streams? More than 6. But, you know, if I was a cook, you'd give the food to the waiters and they'd fill the buffet too. And I've been a cook too. Under siege, I might say too. So, what can I say? Here on Cape Cod, there's a heroin epidemic. So, I've been trying to clean up my neighborhood. There was heroin in this room, I just said. Slowly but surely, I've been listening to Richard James Turner, who looks like my great deceased grandfather, Howard Miller, son of none other than Gustav. Married to Alma Schindler, step-grandmother of mine. Schindler's List, anybody? 86 summer, Fort Dix, Hope Springs Eternal, Amelia Clark. Remember me? Because I know I dreamed up everything that came to be. Is that your daughter in the Game of Thrones? Because I know she probably looks like both of you and me. Don't know that fact, but that's why I went to go get a DNA test today, and I found out I couldn't. I could. A lot of sex offenders get them, but that's only if they get in more trouble. But to be able to blueprint and find out whose child is who, keep in mind, I know I have children, and I never donated signing on the dotted line sperm, too. More children than I got fingers and toes, too. Leonda had her tubes tied before we got married, and we got adult children, too. Born after we got married. Explain that one, too. And here's a tearjerker for you. Leonda's mother died May 13th, 1979. We wed on May 13th, 1989. Just this past summer, I went to Oak Neck Cemetery, and that gravestone says May 17th, 1979. I still love that family. Valentina, you're new to me, and every day I learn something. I was shocked, upset, to find you in a porno video. DaneJones.com, Pornhub.com, 2-foot penis with a small woman, small 69. We knew it was you. I went to Victory Chapel yesterday and they saw my eyes and they said, yep, it's her. I should have never let that happen. It was my own disbelief and I knew that you were making your own calculated risk. But I didn't realize it until today, and that's why I just said that today too. Now, you know, Mariana's Trench, it's sad if a nuclear missile ever hit the bottom of that. Everything from the tip of South of America up to the tip of Canada, all the way into Indiana would be soaked. So guess what I've been working on? Our defense. Why am I telling you this? Because I miss life. I don't go to bars. I don't drink that much. A psychiatrist once told me in writing I'm an alcoholic. I'm drier than the desert with the occasional oasis since I was able to drink at the age of 11. Even when drinking age was 18 at the time. But my brother was an alcoholic. And I caught him red-handed with my wife, Leonda. 2002. I thank Obama the nation because it was filmed from the inside of a TV too. He had what I learned is herpes, black marks all over his buttocks to his pubics, and both of them had it too. With my then brother's girlfriend, Kelly, sitting right next to him too. Something she denies to this day, and I don't believe it too. I asked Troy, did you have sex with Leon? And he said, Bill, I never slept with your wife and never had sex with your wife. You're paranoid schizophrenic. Are you taking your medicine? Well, Leona admitted it. We got divorced and now she's married to an alcoholic, just like her grandfather used to be too. Father of our president, neighbor, Vladimir Putin, that's who. As for Troy, it was about a week, maybe two later, me and my then friend, Dan Landis, we met at the Prodigal Son. I told him I had the Kia G and we made 2 home runs within a week later. No highway? Do you remember the Virginia snipers? The ones that were shooting up the gas stations? Dear friend, dear friend. Well, the whole song basically helped the Virginia State Police capture him. I didn't realize it was going to do that. Then I spoke with my friend Andrew Gorsuch, whom I've known since 2002. We met in Mocasset Mental Health. We walked the cobblestone path, mentally, where we were at. We hugged and walked like 2 brothers. Well, he told me he had family in New York. His father was from there. Supreme Court Justice Neil Gorsuch or not. Last time I tried contacting Andrew, quite the actor he is, nobody's getting messages into him. At least I wasn't. As for Troy, my song No Highway ends. When Troy passed away of an alcoholism-related death in 2011, I was way out in Wareham with my then girlfriend, who was so emotionally unresponsive to me. When my mom called me, so I went out to Falmouth Hospital. Out of all the people that were there, Forrest, Therian, Mailer, my friend Terry Fitzgerald was the only one to cry a river of tears. I understand why he's equal to me in drumming. I love that man. We've never argued back and forth in anger at each other, but we understand anger like two brothers. I love that song Backstreets from Bruce Springsteen too. You know, Valentina, I know you really didn't enjoy what you did on video. There's no way you could have, even though you might have had a temporary like of it. I can't do that. You're braver than me. And I've been tempted too. That's why I'm a tease. This ain't just break time. It's this time. I sat before the synagogue leader David of the Cape Cod Synagogue, and I explained to him the 40-minute war, what was going on through my life, and I could feel my heart leap up. And I told him a Nazi psychiatrist diagnosed me as paranoid schiz. But I only told him that after he asked me if I was getting professional help for my mind. He said I was concerned for my mental health. And I told him, no, I won't sign on the dotted line. He asked me if I worked, and I said, yes, I'm a writer, musician. Little did I realize, it is the attraction of Valentina, my own mental state of mind. That's what gets me about her. But to this date, I don't know what college she went to. Don't know what high school she went to. I just know she's a mental type of person and sensual too. She's drop dead gorgeous at 5'4", and let me tell you, Angelina Jolie, you got some serious competition, you do. Not that you're in love with me, but you're a beauty queen, and she outshines you. Why am I saying this? Because there are the rich and the powerful who have their millions, and there are those like me who live on pennies. Well, Wall Street Journal basically printed online 16% of 83 billion, and I was 16 in 83 too. That's what's in my back pocket. I don't know about you. Undercover boss I am. Realizing it because Valentina awakened the force in me as I awakened it in her too. And we've fallen victim to those of the greedy too. Gandhi I am, meaning I won't have sex with another woman except Valentina too. And it's not just sex. And we've not done that too. Technically, we've only spent 4 or 5 minutes in person too. She's valuable to me. She's not cheap. She's an angel. And you who convinced her to do it, Valentina, did you convince you to do it? Because you were telling yourself, I'm going to make that mistake, but you decided to do it too. Whether you were forced into it, I remember your face, come on over me too. Well, Leona did much worse. That's why I warned you, don't get into it. And your father, Shane Kelly, he victimized himself too. Seen a photograph of him with a black mask on in his living room with a black pole going up his anus too. Who shot it? Probably his wife Audrey, that suit. And Audrey, don't you ever rape me again like you did too. I couldn't move. I was frozen despite the fact that there was blue fire moving out of my eyes, I tell you. Why did you get that scorpion tattoo? When you're making love to someone, it is not wrong for a man to touch a woman physically. And I didn't touch you. Platonic I was. Scorpion, I was biting at your heels like a dog too. If it's your husband then that says, you have to go get a job, you can't go playing guitar, and I told you, well, your employment could be that guitar, and he has no right to tell you you can't be your own personal star. That's why I was your friend, platonically in love with you. Shane, go ahead and sue me, you little prick. You told me your father died? I don't think he did. Because I met him at Cumberland Farms a couple months after the last time I tried to make peace with you. He called himself Richard, but I remember every last tattoo and the trickier scar he's got too. And if he's not residing at 26 High on the Hill Road, then he moved out too. He called himself Richard, and I know why too. My friend Richard Brown did something to Adolf Hitler, stuck his hand down his throat, reached in and grabbed his bladder and shoved it up his anus. Part one of a true life 10-part act, I tell you. No, I wasn't physically there in South America when it happened, but I opened my mind, heart, and soul to Richard, and he's always told me the truth. You know, my niece Vanessa looks like one of the Trump members too. Excuse me, Ivanka, but I have a Freudian dream of you, and that's why you're the first daughter now too. Like every other man that dreamed of you. And this was 2003 too. Slam dunk Frozen too. And that was just a Freudian slip because we never physically touched too. You're one of the most beautiful women in the world, and I'll admit it too. But why do you have Kelsey Hicks working with you, the woman that had just under 1,000 men? And there's children that I swear to God shouldn't do that too. It's simple. Because for every sin I've ever had, it's kind of like when I went up to 7-Eleven the other day. I saw a woman sitting next to her daughter, and I looked at the two of them, and I said to them, if you can't love the one, if you can't be with the one you love, honey, love the one you're with. And I said to that girl, go to school and study biology, and don't let anybody teach you what only your mother should teach you. You know what that means, sex education. George Lucas donated all his money, $3.5 billion, to education. That means you don't have to strip dance anymore unless you want to. And I'm tempted to go out and pose nude. But I won't too. Maybe I will if I'm forced to. Valentina, was you forced? Because I can use a hell of a force too. Now, whether you're a neighbor up here or not, I don't know. And I know how obscene I've been, but I've been tasteful about it too. That's the pit of this hell, and here's some beauty for you. Outshining the sun's coming out, and Sydney Rose is a single too. Regardless of love, and regardless of it all, I love myself too. I still bite my nails and smoke cigarettes too. Nobody's been smoking marijuana with me. I guess, Valentina, you're telling me to quit too. Yeah? Well, I got news for you. I'm not. Masculine? I tripped on that, and that's a hell of a rip current too. Don't do it. I only did it once, and it wrecks people too. That's why I'm kind of like skittish when it comes to let myself have a brainstorm nowadays too. David, Rabbi you are, I know you said bless you. Well, I saw a lightning strike in my mind too. Peter Kenny, white racist you are, former gadfly. Yeah, I remember walking with you up there by Salty's the other day, and I asked you, did you run from Richard Brown? Did you try to hit him physically because he was kicking you out? And you said, no, I did not. No, I did not. It never happened. It never happened. It never happened. You know what? The Germans keep saying it never happened. Roger Taylor, not a racist, but he tried to interpret how to fix what the Germans did by the song Nazi 1994. They say it never really happened. Well, I went to the library. After telling me, Peter, if you ever take another swing at Richard, you're going to find my left knuckle in your face, despite the fact I know you're over 65 too. I sat at that library, and it happened. I opened my mind to Valentina, and like a little lightning bolt, and the blues in the reds of my body, I heard the word Valentina too. Had I not done that, then it would have been true. They say it never happens too. You know, what can I say? Except, Bruce Springsteen, if you're listening, my song Any Day, yeah, Outlaw P too. My song Freedom, Tower 1, Devils and Dust, Tower 2. I'm not going to sue you. Brothers we are, and that's why Devils and Dust sounds quite like Freedom too. And you too? Yeah, May 8th, 2000, or May 7th, 2004. A hint? My rant? Up in alt.fan.youtube, alt.music.youtube. I probably could have gone to any concert, but I was too ignorant not to. Because I turned into Miracle Drug, and my rant is quite the blueprint too. Bono, hats off to you for dedicating it to a friend in a wheelchair too. Because a rant is about the powers of the disabled, whether it's physical or mental. And I hope to God everybody rises from a wheelchair too. Bono, yeah, that was you at the Particle Summer, dear drummer too. Can anybody explain to me why nobody got up and said, "Oh my God, it's Bono, can I have an autograph?" Because I know I stood shoulder to shoulder to you. Remember it too? At the Particle Sun in front of a band too. And I knew it was you. And Queen, Brian, I know why you were crying. Despite the fact that Freddie Mercury is reported dead of age-related pneumonia, I think there's quite the memory of a few people that were at the Particle Sun in October 2003. Because I stood shoulder to shoulder with Fred, as whom I didn't know at the time was carrying the electric piano for you, Jamie Moses, who toured with Queen and Paul Rogers too. The last thing I heard you say to me after about 10 to 15 minutes of standing next to you is, "You got what it takes, Miller," and like an idiot, I walked out of there too. Please come back. Queen and Adam Lambert, July 27, Boston Garden. Katie's, not so much of a secret gig yet too. Ed Lambert of WXTK, Adam Lambert and you. And I've been making it known too. On a sad note, Pulse, yeah, I was shot with the Islamic State terrorist flag and a representative too, right on Facebook. Proudly exclaimed about my family, and they wrote of this too. God knows I didn't know they were going to go kill a lot of people in Pulse, but that's just a pulse for you. You know, pre-dawn before September 11th happened, in a chat room with 400 English written names, all Arabic, I went in there, World Chat IFC, and I said, "Hey, some of you come join me in a private chat." 20 showed up. Does that tell you anything? I believe every child knows everything under the sun and around the moon, and it just takes a teacher to get it out. And without any illegal drugs, I was safer than my father ever could, no doubt. You betcha I told him to do it to our country, too. Similar to the way one of the first journalists that got his head sliced off by ISIS said, "Do it, too." And I told him as intricately as every last hair on every American red, white, and blue man, too. The only people that's got a copy of that is the National Security Agency, too. Not me, not you, just them, it's true. No coincidence, when I said I was jokingly going to run for president, I made my 4-minute video the same day of the last Trump-Clinton debate. And as I understand it, Clinton released all the nuclear codes in 4 minutes, too. Whoa! Ain't that a power trip? And I'm just gloating, too. And speaking of gloats and goats, sorry, Patriots. It's just like me to show my Joe Montana on our face. 1 week before you lost 16-0 to the Bills. On Celtics? Yeah! Me and my red hat talking about 5 new singles. You lost to the Suns by 5 too. Red Sox, I love you. Not this year, next. Sale price, please. Please, please, bring down the ticket prices too. I've had my chance to do the national anthem, and speaking of national anthems, it was WCVB Channel 5 where I was at the Pine Street Inn. Less than 48 hours after I asked you, should Leon I'm Coming Home be a new national anthem? Well, there was at least 20 to 25 witnesses who read that question. New national anthem? There's white people on one side, big empty aisle on the center, and a bunch of black people on the right. That was like an emotional strike, and it almost got me too. Why isn't it the national anthem? Because how many people know it, and where were the Asians too? And the South Americans too. You know? Valentina. Ballerina Valentina ain't getting me quoted until you're face to face with me too. Even though I said no way, and now I'm going to do it too. You know what it was? That was me just reiterating your own father's words, not something I truly believed that I would never do. Heaven is yelling, what would you say to all us felons? I'm a felon, Because I struck down 3 security guards at Cape Cod Hospital. Enough's enough, Department of Mental Health. I don't need your drugs like anybody else. One of them was 65 and older. What was he doing there? And I pled guilty, too. You betcha that could be reversed, too. And the other one for stalking Shane Kelly? Hello, people. You would stalk someone, too, if you raped your wife, too. Technically, I pled guilty to stalking when my own attorney said everything I wrote about Shane was just a big stay away from us, my wife and I, and anybody else that had been affected by him. Do you remember you were charged with rape, Shane, of a mentally handicapped woman? You said she lied on the stand, and I bet you she was telling the truth. Sue me. I dare you, because you can't. Now, if I turn these 2 fists into the strength of the honor coming home and Merry Christmas to you, that's why I won't too, despite the fact I should work out and get quite large too. That's why I walk everywhere I go, despite the fact that I have a car too. And I will too. You know, this is just glutton and toting. But I hope it makes sense to you. Because if I can do it, I know darn straight you did too. Valentino, please, make sense of this. You know where I live. The window's here and the door is too. 774-327-5945, bill@mailers.com. I should take a walk outside and let the spirits guide me to you too. I was told the Clark family lives around here and I should take a walk outside too. I love you all. Watch my back because I'm watching you.